The morning alarm rang across New Busan Station at exactly 0600 hours. Commander Lee Tae-ho opened his eyes and looked out the window of his quarters. The blue planet Kepler 442c spun slowly below him, its surface covered with mining operations and small cities. 50,000 people called this world home now. Tae-ho was 52 years old and had gray hair at his temples. He had commanded this orbital station for 3 years. Before that, he served in the Korean Space Force for 20 years. He knew how to keep people safe, and he was good at his job. The station was big. It had living areas for 1,200 people, research labs, defense systems, and docking bays for ships. Most importantly, it protected the planet below from asteroids and other dangers. Tae-ho put on his blue uniform and walked to the command center. The long corridors were busy with people starting their day. Engineers checked systems, scientists worked on experiments, and security officers made their rounds. "Good morning, Commander," said Dr. Park Mina as he entered the command center. She was 38 years old with short black hair and smart eyes. She ran the science department and studied alien life forms. So far, they had found only simple plants and small animals on different worlds. "Morning, Dr. Park. Any news from Earth?" Tae-ho asked. He sat in his command chair and looked at the big screens showing space around them. "The weekly report came in last night. Everything is normal. The mining operations are ahead of schedule this month," she said, reading from her tablet. Engineer Kim Do-yeon walked over to them. He was a big man with strong hands, 41 years old. He took care of all the station's machines and weapons. "Commander, I finished checking the defense systems. All laser batteries are working perfectly. The shield generators are at full power." "Good work, Kim," Tae-ho said. He felt proud of his team. They worked hard and kept everyone safe. Captain Yoon Ji-woo came running into the command center. She was young, only 29, but very smart about fighting and protecting people. Her face looked worried. "Commander, we have a problem," she said, breathing hard. Long-range sensors picked up something strange at the edge of the system. Tae-ho stood up quickly. "Show me." The main screen changed to show dots of light in the darkness of space. At first, they looked like normal stars. Then Tae-ho saw they were moving. "How many?" he asked. 15 large objects. "They appeared suddenly like they came out of hyperspace," Ji-woo said. "But Commander, they are huge. Much bigger than our largest ships." Dr. Park checked her instruments. "I'm getting strange readings. These are not human ships. The metal is different. The energy signatures are unlike anything we have seen before." Tae-ho felt cold fear in his stomach. In all his years in space, he had never seen alien ships. Humans had found many planets with life, but never intelligent aliens who could build spaceships. "Can we talk to them?" he asked. "I am trying all frequencies," Dr. Park said, working fast on her computer. No response yet. On the screen, the alien ships got bigger as they came closer. They were long and dark, shaped like hunting knives. Sharp points stuck out from their sides like teeth. They moved in perfect formation, like a pack of wolves. "Commander," Kim said, his voice quiet. "I do not think those are friendly ships." The communication system suddenly came alive with a loud noise. Everyone in the command center covered their ears. The sound was like metal being torn apart mixed with animal screams. Then a voice spoke. It was deep and cold, speaking perfect English with no emotion. "Humans of this system, we are the Vorthak Dominion. We have traveled far to reach you." The main screen showed a creature that made everyone step back in fear. It had 4 eyes, sharp, teeth and skin like black metal. Its face was long and narrow, built for hunting. "We have watched your species spread across these stars," the alien continued. "You build and grow like all the others before you. This ends now." Dr. Park grabbed Tae-ho's arm. "Commander, I am picking up similar transmissions from our other colonies. They are talking to all human settlements at the same time." The aliens' 4 eyes seemed to look directly at them through the screen. "You have 7 of your planet's rotations to prepare your final words. We come to feed. Your civilization will become fuel for our ships. Your people will feed our young. This is the way it has always been." The screen went black. Nobody spoke. For a long moment. The only sounds were the humming of machines and people breathing. "Captain Ji-woo," Taiho said, his voice steady despite his fear. "Set all weapons to ready. Raise shields to maximum power." "Yes, sir," she said, running to her station. "Dr. Park, try to contact Earth and all our colonies. Tell them what we saw." "I am trying, Commander, but something is blocking our signals. We can only reach ships in this system." Kim looked at his screens and shook his head. "Commander, our weapons are toys compared to ships that size. Our laser batteries might scratch their paint." Taiho walked to the big window and looked out at space. In the distance, he could see tiny lights that were the alien ships. They were still coming closer. "Maybe our weapons are small," he said, "but we are not going to give up without a fight." Dr. Park was studying the recorded message. "Commander, I found something interesting. When the alien spoke, my instruments detected fear frequencies in its voice." "Fear frequencies?" Taiho asked. "Yes. All living things show fear in different ways. This alien was trying to scare us, but it was also afraid of something. I can hear it in the sound patterns." "What would an alien with ships that big be afraid of?" Kim asked. Before anyone could answer, alarms started ringing all over the station. Captain Ji-woo shouted from her station, "Commander, 3 colonies just went dark. No signals, no transmissions, nothing." Taiho felt like ice water was running through his body. "Which colonies?" "New Seoul in the Tau Ceti system, Port Incheon at Wolf 359, and the mining station at Proxima Centauri." Dr. Park looked at her screen with wide eyes. "Commander, those colonies had 200,000 people total." The command center was very quiet. Everyone understood what this meant. The aliens were not making empty threats. They were already killing humans. "How long do we have?" Taiho asked. Ji-woo checked her calculations. "At their current speed, they will reach us in 6 days." Taiho looked around at his team. These people trusted him to keep them safe. The 50,000 people on the planet below trusted him too. He could not let them down. "Listen to me," he said to everyone in the command center. "These aliens think we are just another easy target. They think we will be scared and give up. They are wrong." He walked to the communication station. "Dr. Park, can you record a message and send it to all ships and stations in this system?" "Yes, Commander." "Good. Tell every captain, every engineer, every person with a brain to come to New Busan Station. We are going to show these Vorthak something they have never seen before." "What is that, sir?" Kim asked. Taiho smiled, but his eyes were hard as steel. "We are going to show them what happens when predators try to hunt humans." Outside the station, the alien ships continued their slow approach. They had destroyed many civilizations before. They expected this one to be just as easy. They were about to learn they were very wrong. The 5th day came too quickly. Commander Lee Taiho stood in the command center watching dozens of human ships dock with New Busan Station. Cargo ships, mining vessels, passenger transports, and even small personal spacecraft had answered his call. Every captain in the system had come to help. "How many ships do we have now?" Taiho asked Captain Yoon Ji-woo. 43 ships of different sizes, sir. Most of them have no weapons. The crews total 800 people, she said, reading from her tablet. Dr. Park Mina looked up from her science station. "Commander, I have been studying the alien transmissions for 5 days. I found something important." "Tell me," Taiho said. "The Vorthak use bioelectric fields to talk to each other, like electric signals in the brain but much stronger. I think I can disrupt these signals." Engineer Kim Do-hyun walked over to them. His clothes were dirty from working on weapons all week. "Commander, I installed extra laser batteries on 12 of our ships. They are not strong, but they can fight." A new voice spoke from the communication system. "New Busan Station. This is pilot Choi Soon-ho requesting permission to dock." "Who is Choi Soon-ho?" Taiho asked. Captain Ji-woo smiled. "He is the best fighter pilot in the outer colonies. His squadron won the war games 3 years running." "Send him to docking bay 7, Taiho ordered. 20 minutes later, a young man entered the command center. Choi Soon-ho was 26 years old, tall and thin, with quick eyes that missed nothing. He walked with confidence but was not arrogant. "Commander Lee, I brought 6 fighter ships and my best pilots. We are ready to fight," Soon-ho said. "Good. How many people have we evacuated from the planet?" Tae-ho asked Kim. "Only 5,000. The transport ships are too small and slow. We cannot save everyone in time." Tae-ho felt heavy sadness in his chest. 45,000 people would be left on the planet when the aliens arrived. "Sir," called technician Bei Gina from her computer station. She was 24 years old, very smart with computers and electronic systems. "I am receiving a transmission from Earth." The main screen showed General Han Kyung-min, the head of Earth Defense. He was an old man with white hair and a serious face. "Commander Lee, we received your reports about the alien attack. I am sorry, but we cannot send help in time. Our fastest ships will take 3 weeks to reach you." Tae-ho nodded. He expected this answer. "We understand, General. We will do our best. Commander, Earth believes in you and your people. Fight well. Make humanity proud." The transmission ended. Everyone in the command center looked at Tae-ho, waiting for orders. "The aliens will be here in 18 hours, he said. "Dr. Park, is your signal disruptor ready?" "Yes, sir. I can broadcast on frequencies that should confuse their communications." "Kim, are the defense systems ready?" "All weapons are charged and aimed. The shields are at maximum power." "Pilot Choi, can your fighters damage their big ships?" Soon-ho thought, for a moment. "Not with normal attacks, but I have an idea. It is very dangerous." "Tell me." "We ram their ships at full speed, but eject just before impact. The fighters will explode and damage their hulls. We survive. They get hurt." Kim shook his head. "That is crazy. No pilot would do that." "My pilots will," Soon-ho said with a serious face. "We trained for suicide attacks, but this way we live to fight again." "It might work," Dr. Park said. "The aliens probably never faced opponents willing to sacrifice their ships, but not their lives." Alarms suddenly rang through the station. Captain Ji-woo shouted from her station. "Commander, the alien ships just appeared at the edge of the system. They are moving fast toward us." On the main screen, 15 dark ships moved through space like deadly arrows. They were even bigger than the sensors had shown, each one the size of a small city. "All ships, this is Commander Lee," Tae-ho said into the communication system. "Take your positions. Remember, we are not just fighting for ourselves. We fight for every human who cannot fight back." The alien ships spread out as they approached. Their formation was perfect, like they had done this many times before. "Dr. Park, start the signal disruption," Tae-ho ordered. She pressed buttons on her console. Strange sounds filled the air around the station. The sounds were like Korean drums mixed with electronic noise. "What is that music?" Kim asked. "Traditional Korean drumming patterns, but changed into bioelectric frequencies. If I am right, it will hurt their brains," Dr. Park explained. The lead alien ship suddenly stopped moving in a straight line. It began to turn left and right, like a confused animal. "It is working," Ji-woo shouted. "Their formation is breaking apart." But the other alien ships adapted quickly. They changed to a different communication method and reformed their attack pattern. "Here they come," Sun-ho said. He ran toward the docking bay. "My squadron is launching now." The battle began with bright flashes of laser fire. The human ships spread out around New Busan Station, firing everything they had. Their small weapons made tiny explosions against the alien hulls like throwing rocks at a tank. The alien ships returned fire with weapons that tore through space itself. 3 human cargo ships exploded in seconds. The remaining ships scattered in all directions. "Kim, why are our weapons so weak?" Tae-ho asked. "Their hulls are made of some kind of living metal. It repairs itself when damaged." On the screen, Tae-ho watched Pilot Choi's fighters racing toward the largest alien ship. The 6 small fighters looked like insects attacking a whale. "This is Sun-ho. Beginning ramming attack. See you on the other side." The fighters aimed at weak points on the alien ship's hull. At the last second, the pilots ejected in escape pods. The unmanned fighters smashed into the alien ship and exploded. The explosions were much bigger than expected. The alien ship's hull cracked in strange green. Liquid poured out into space. "Direct hit!" Jiwoo shouted. "The alien ship is damaged." But the aliens were learning. They began targeting the escape pods, trying to kill the human pilots. "All ships, protect those pods," Taiho ordered. The human ships charged toward the alien vessels, firing their weak weapons to distract them. It was like watching mice attack lions, but the mice were very clever. Dr. Park discovered something new. "Commander, when we hit them, they send fear signals to each other. They are scared of our kamikaze attacks." "Why would they be scared?" "They are much stronger," Kim asked. "Because they never fought anyone willing to die for victory. Most species they attack just run away or surrender." The battle continued for 2 hours. The humans lost 12 ships, but they damaged 3 alien vessels. More importantly, the alien formation was confused and scattered. Then something unexpected happened. The alien ships began to retreat. "Commander, they are leaving the system," Jiwoo said with surprise in her voice. Everyone in the command center stared at the screen. The massive alien ships were turning away and moving back toward deep space. "We won?" Kim asked. "How did we win?" Taiho watched the aliens disappear into hyperspace. "We did not win. We survived. They will be back with more ships." Dr. Park was studying her instruments. "Commander, I recorded everything. The aliens were definitely afraid. When we used tactics they did not expect, they could not adapt fast." "Enough. What kind of tactics?" Taiho asked. "Sacrifice without death, cooperation between different types of ships, and most important, unpredictable behavior. They are used to hunting prey that acts the same way every time." Pilot Choi's voice came through the communication system. "Commander, this is Sunho. My pilots are safe. That was the craziest thing we ever did, but it worked." Taiho smiled for the first time in days. "Good work, everyone. But this is just the beginning. Dr. Park, can you analyze everything we learned about them?" "Yes, sir. I think I know how to hurt them even more next time." "Next time?" Kim asked. "They will return," Taiho said. "Predators do not give up after one failed hunt. They bring the whole pack." Outside the station, space was quiet again. Pieces of destroyed ships floated among the stars. The humans had faced their first alien attack and survived, but everyone knew the real war was just beginning. The Vorthak had learned that humans were different from other prey. Soon, the humans would learn much more about their new enemies, and both sides would discover that in the vast darkness of space, the most dangerous thing was not the size of your weapons, but the willingness to use them in ways no one expected. 2 weeks passed after the first battle. Commander Lee Taeho did not sleep well during those days. He knew the aliens would return, and when they did, they would bring many more ships. "Commander, long-range sensors are picking up something big," Captain Yoon Jiwoo said as she ran into the command center. Her face was pale with worry. Taeho looked at the main screen. What he saw made his blood turn cold. Hundreds of alien ships were coming out of hyperspace at the edge of the system. The screen could not count them all. "How many?" he asked quietly. "Over 300 ships, sir. And there is something else. One ship is much bigger than the others. It is the size of a moon." Dr. Park Mina looked up from her science station. "Commander, I am receiving a transmission from the large ship. The signal is much stronger than before." "Put it on screen," Taiho ordered. The screen showed a creature that was even more frightening than the first alien. This one was older, with scars across its face and 6 eyes instead of 4. When it spoke, its voice made the walls of the station shake. "Humans, I am Hive Queen Krexthor of the Vorthak Dominion. You destroyed 3 of my hunting ships. This has never happened before in 1,000 years." The alien's 6 eyes seemed to burn with anger. "You will pay for this insult. I bring the full power of the Dominion. We have eaten civilizations across 20 galaxies. You are nothing but food that learned to bite back. Your tricks will not work twice. We have studied your tactics. We know how you fight. Prepare to join the billions who came before you." The transmission ended. The command center was silent except for the sound of machines humming. 300 ships, Engineer Kim Do-yeon said slowly. How do we fight 300 ships? Before anyone could answer, new alarms started ringing. A different alarm that meant friendly ships were arriving. Commander, this is Admiral Jo Min-hyuk of the Earth Defense Fleet. We received your emergency signals. Everyone turned to look at the screen. Admiral Jo was 60 years old with a strong face and determined eyes. Behind him on the bridge, Tai-ho could see the crew of a large warship. Admiral, how did you get here so fast? Tai-ho asked. We used the new hyperspace engines. Very dangerous, but we made it in 10 days instead of 3 weeks. I brought 15 ships and 3,000 Marines. 15 ships against 300, Kim said quietly. It is better than what we had before, Tai-ho replied. Admiral, we need to talk about strategy. 1 hour later, the human commanders met in the station's war room. Admiral Jo had brought 2 new people with him. Dr. Kang Yoonbi was a small woman with gray hair and sharp eyes. She studied alien psychology and warfare. I have been reading your reports about the first battle, she said. The aliens became confused when you acted unpredictably. This tells us something important about their minds. The other new person was Sergeant Oh Tae-won, a Special Forces soldier who was an expert at sneaking into enemy territory. He was quiet, but looked very dangerous. What do you mean about their minds? Tae-ho asked Dr. Kang. All predators hunt in patterns. They expect their prey to run, hide, or fight in predictable ways. When prey does something unexpected, predators get confused. But these aliens have been hunting for a very long time. They should have learned to adapt. So why did they retreat? Admiral Jo asked. Because they are not just predators. They are afraid of something. Dr. Park was right about the fear frequencies in their communications. Pilot Choi Sun-ho, who had been listening quietly, spoke up. What are they afraid of? That is what we need to find out, Dr. Kang said. Admiral Jo looked at the tactical display showing the alien fleet. We cannot fight them directly. They have too many ships. We need a different approach. What do you suggest? Tai-ho asked. We scatter our ships and use hit-and-run attacks. Like guerrilla warfare in space, we strike fast and disappear before they can respond. Sergeant Oh smiled for the first time. I like this plan. Can I take a small team and get onto one of their ships? Too dangerous, Admiral Jo said. Everything we do now is dangerous, Oh replied. But if I can get inside one of their ships, I might learn something useful. Dr. Park had been working on her computers during the meeting. I have an idea that might help. I can create false sensor readings, make our ships look like they are in different places. How? Kim asked. I use the same bioelectric frequencies that disrupt their communications, but change them to confuse their sensors. They will see ghost ships that are not really there. 2 days later, the alien fleet reached the inner system, but when they arrived, they found something they did not expect. The human ships were gone. Admiral, this is Captain Lee Hyun-woo of the cargo ship Busan Dream. We are in position behind the asteroid field in Sector 7. This is Captain Park Seulgi of the frigate Seoul's Hammer, hidden in the debris field near the destroyed mining station. This is Captain Kim Jaemin of the transport New Hope, ready to attack from above the orbital plane. The human ships had spread out across the entire system. Instead of waiting in one place to be destroyed, they hid among asteroids, space debris, and even inside the rings of the gas giant. The alien fleet moved in perfect formation toward where New Busan Station used to be. But the station was no longer there. The humans had moved it to a new location using powerful engines. Now, Admiral Jo said quietly into his communicator. Suddenly, human ships appeared from everywhere. They came from behind asteroids, out of debris fields from above and below the orbital plane. Laser fire lit up space as dozens of small attacks hit the alien fleet from all directions. The aliens tried to respond, but every time they turned to face one group of attackers, another group hit them from a different direction. Dr. Park's ghost. Ships made them fire at targets that did not exist. This is working, Captain Ji-woo said with excitement. They cannot predict where we will attack next. But the aliens were learning fast. After an hour of chaotic fighting, they began to adapt. They split their fleet into smaller groups and started hunting the human ships one by one. "We need to change tactics again," Admiral Joe said. "Dr. Kang, any ideas?" "The aliens are getting frustrated. Frustrated predators make mistakes. We need to make them more angry." At that moment, Sergeant O's voice came through the communicator. "This is O. I am inside one of their damaged ships. You need to hear this." The transmission was full of static, but they could hear O speaking quietly. "These aliens are not what we thought. I found their databanks. They are not from this galaxy. They came from somewhere else, running from something." "Running from what?" Taiho asked. "Something they call the Void Swarm. It destroyed their home galaxy. These Vorthak are refugees, not conquerors. They have been running and eating other species to survive for thousands of years." Dr. Kang's eyes became wide. "That explains everything. They are not hunting us because they are strong. They are hunting us because they are afraid of starving." "There is more," O continued. "They left behind millions of their own people. Non-fighters, children, elders, hidden in deep spaceships, barely surviving. The warrior caste abandoned them to become predators." The communication filled with the sound of alarms and alien voices. "Oh, get out of there now," Admiral Joe ordered. "On my way. But Commander Taiho, you need to know something else. The thing they are running from, the Void Swarm, it has found this galaxy. Long-range sensors show it will be here in about 10 years. The transmission cut off. Everyone in the command center looked at each other with new understanding. "They are not just predators," Dr. Kang said slowly. "They are terrified survivors who forgot how to be anything else." "Does this change our strategy?" Admiral Joe asked. Taiho thought for a long moment. Outside, the battle continued as human ships danced around the confused alien fleet like angry bees around a bear. "No," he said finally. "It makes it more important that we win. If we can make them remember what they used to be, maybe we can save both our species from what is coming." The aliens had come to hunt humans. Instead, they found themselves being hunted by prey that refused to act like prey. And, somewhere in the darkness between galaxies, something even worse was coming for them all. Sergeant O. Taewon returned to New Busan Station 3 hours after his dangerous mission. His uniform was torn and burned, but his eyes were bright with new knowledge. "Tell us everything," Commander Lee Taeho said as they gathered in the war. Do placed a small device on the table. "I copied their data files. Dr. Park, can you translate this?" Dr. Park Mina connected the device to her computer. Strange symbols filled the screen, then slowly changed into human words as her translation program worked. "It is a history file," she said with wonder in her voice. "The Vorthak came from a galaxy called Zethmoran. They had beautiful worlds, with cities that floated in the sky. They were not warriors. They were artists, scientists, and peaceful farmers." Admiral Joe Minhyuk leaned forward. "What happened to them?" "The Void Swarm came. It is not just one species, but thousands of different creatures that work together. They eat everything, stars, planets, even empty space itself. The Vorthak had two choices, run or die." Dr. Kang Yunbi studied the files carefully. "This explains their psychology. They are not evil. They are traumatized survivors who think the only way to live is to become like the thing that destroyed them." "How many of their people escaped?" Taiho asked. O answered quietly. "Only 20% became warriors. The other 80% were left behind in hidden ships. Old people, children, scientists, artists. They have been hiding in dead space for 3,000 years, slowly dying." Everyone in the room was quiet for a moment. These aliens were not monsters. They were refugees who had lost their way. "Where are these hidden ships?" Admiral Joe asked. "The warrior caste does not want to remember them, but the data shows coordinates. Hundreds of ships scattered across empty space, trying to survive on almost nothing." Taiho made a decision that would change everything. "Dr. Park, can you send a message to the Vorthak fleet?" "Yes, Commander, but what do you want to say?" "I want to talk to them, not fight. Talk." Captain Yoon Ji-woo looked worried. Sir, they came here to eat us. Why would they listen? Because, Taiho said, we are going to offer them something they forgot existed. Hope. 2 hours later, Dr. Park sent a message on all frequencies the Vorthak used. The message was simple but powerful. Vorthak warriors, this is Commander Lee Taiho of the human species. We know about your home galaxy. We know about the Void Swarm. We know about the people you left behind. We want to help. The response came quickly. Hive Queen Krexthor appeared on the main screen, her 6 eyes burning with anger. Humans dare to speak of things they do not understand? We are warriors. We need no help from prey animals. You are not warriors, Taiho said calmly. You are scared children who forgot how to come home. The alien queen's face changed. For a moment she looked less like a monster and more like someone who was very, very tired. Home is gone. The swarm ate it. We survive by eating others. This is the way. No, Taiho said. This is what the swarm wanted. It wanted you to become like them. It wanted you to forget what you used to be. The transmission cut off. But something had changed. The alien fleet stopped attacking. They just sat in space, waiting. Commander, Dr. Park said, I am receiving multiple transmissions from the Vorthak ships. They are talking to each other. Some of them are arguing. About what? About whether to continue the attack. The younger warriors want to keep fighting, but some of the older ones are asking questions. Ambassador Song Jiwon arrived from Earth that same day. She was 55 years old with kind eyes and a gentle voice. But when she spoke, everyone listened. I came to negotiate, she told Taiho. Earth believes we can end this war without more killing. The aliens might not want to negotiate, Admiral Joe warned. Everyone wants to survive, Song replied. The question is how. Captain Lim Hyok also arrived with the new experimental ship, Soul's Pride. He was 42 years old and commanded the strangest ship anyone had ever seen. What does your ship do? Taiho asked. It changes, Lim said with a smile. The hull can transform into different shapes. The weapons can become tools. The crew quarters can become factories. We built it to adapt to anything. Dr. Shin Minji, the alien psychology expert, studied the Vorthak communications all day. Commander, I think some of them want to stop fighting. There is a young one called Sub-Commander Vrektai who keeps asking questions about their history. Tainan Dao. We talk to him? I will try. That night Dr. Shin made contact with the young Vorthak warrior. His face appeared on a small screen in the war room. He looked different from the other aliens, younger and less angry. I am Rektai. I have lived for only 200 cycles. I never saw the homeworlds before the swarm came. What do you want to know? Dr. Shin asked gently. Is it true that we once built things instead of destroying them? The older warriors say this is weakness, but I wonder. Yes, Dr. Shin said. Your people were builders and artists. They created beautiful things. And these hidden ships with our old people, do they still exist? Yes. They are waiting for you to remember them. The young alien was quiet for a long time. What if the Hive Queen is wrong? What if there is another way to survive? There is, Dr. Shin said. But it requires courage. The courage to stop running and start building again. The next day, everything changed. Half the Vorthak fleet turned. Their weapons on the other half. The alien civil war had begun. Rektai's ship was being attacked by 3 other Vorthak vessels. Captain Lim made a decision that shocked everyone. This is the Soul's Pride. We are moving to protect the Vorthak ship. Captain, what are you doing? Admiral Joe asked, showing them what alliance looks like. The Soul's Pride flew between Rektai's ship and his attackers. The experimental ship's hull transformed into a shield configuration, absorbing the alien. Weapons fire. Human ship, why do you protect me? Rektai asked over the communication system. Because, Lim replied. We choose to trust you. Trust is how you build something better than war. The battle lasted for hours. Some Vorthak ships fought to continue their old ways. Others fought to try something new. The humans helped where they could, but mostly they showed the aliens that there were other choices. When the fighting ended, 97 Vorthak ships had chosen to follow Rektai. 200 ships stayed loyal to Hive Queen Krex Thor. "This is not over," the Hive Queen said in her final transmission. "The swarm comes. When it arrives, you will understand that only the strong survive." Her ships disappeared into hyperspace, fleeing to find new prey in distant galaxies. Rektai's remaining ships stayed. The young alien commander appeared on Sol, the main screen, looking uncertain but hopeful. "Humans, you have shown us something we thought was lost forever. But I do not know if we can learn to be what we once were." Ambassador Song stepped forward. "Learning takes time, but you are not alone anymore." In the distance, long-range sensors detected something that made everyone afraid. The first scouts of the Void Swarm had entered the galaxy. The real war was about to begin. But for the first time in 3,000 years, the Vorthak would not face it alone, and the humans had learned that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is offer friendship to your enemies. 6 months passed after the Vorthak Civil War ended. New Busan Station had become something nobody expected, a place where humans and aliens worked together. President Lee Hana arrived from Earth on the newest and fastest ship in the human fleet. She was 60 years old with silver hair and eyes that had seen many difficult decisions. As Earth's leader, she came to make the most important choice in human history. "Commander Taiho," she said as she walked into the command center, "I need to see everything. The aliens, their technology, and these hidden refugee ships." Elder Vorthak Zethmai was already waiting in the meeting room. He was the oldest alien anyone had ever seen, covered in scars from ancient battles. Unlike the warriors, he remembered the time before the Void Swarm. "Human leader," Zethmai said in his deep, tired voice, "I have lived for 8,000 cycles. I saw our beautiful worlds burn. I watched my people become monsters to survive." Sub-Commander Rektai stood next to the elder. In 6 months, the young alien had learned much about cooperation. His ship now worked alongside human vessels, sharing technology and knowledge. "The swarm scouts are getting closer," Rektai reported. "Our sensors show they will reach this system in 2 years, maybe less." Commander Park Junho entered the room. He was Taiho's son, 28 years old and captain of the new hybrid ship Unity's Dawn. The ship was built using both human and Vorthak technology, proving that the two species could create amazing things together. "The rescue mission is ready," Junho said. "We found the coordinates of the hidden refugee ships. There are 400 vessels scattered across dead space. 2 million Vorthak civilians are still alive." President Hana looked at the tactical display showing the galaxy. Red dots marked where the Void Swarm was advancing. Blue dots showed human colonies. Green dots showed the hidden Vorthak refugee ships. "How many of our people can we evacuate before the swarm arrives?" she asked. Admiral Joe answered sadly, "Maybe half. The swarm moves too fast. We cannot save everyone. And if we try to fight the swarm here, we will lose." Elder Zethmai said, "The swarm consumed 1,000 species before it reached my galaxy. It ate entire star systems. No one has ever defeated it." Dr. Kang Eunbi had spent months studying Void Swarm data from Vorthak records. The swarm is not just one enemy. It is millions of different creatures that work together perfectly. They adapt to any weapon, any strategy. "Then why are we even trying?" Admiral Joe asked. President Hana stood up and walked to the window. Outside, she could see human and Vorthak ships working together, their crews learning from each other. "Because," she said, "someone has to make a stand. Someone has to show the galaxy that there is another choice besides running or being eaten." Dr. Park had been working on new technology day and night. "Madam President, I think I found something. The Vorthak data contains information about swarm weaknesses. They cannot adapt to completely unpredictable behavior." "What do you mean?" "The swarm expects prey to act logically, run away, hide, or fight in patterns. But what if we do something completely unexpected?" Rektai's 4 eyes became bright with interest. "What are you thinking?" "Instead of running from the swarm or fighting it, we invite it to a party." Everyone stared at Dr. Park like she had lost her mind. "Explain," President Hana said carefully. The swarm consumes everything it touches. But what if we give it something it cannot consume? What if we give it hope? Elder Zethmai made a sound that might have been laughter. You want to teach the void swarm to hope? That is the craziest thing I have ever heard. Crazy enough to work, Dr. Park replied. The swarm was created by a species that gave up hope millions of years ago. They became pure hunger because they forgot everything else. If we can remind them of what they lost, it might stop consuming and start remembering, Rektai finished. But how do we show hope to creatures that only know hunger? Commander Junho had an idea. The refugee ships. We rescue all the hidden Vorthak civilians and bring them here. When the swarm arrives, they will see something they have never seen before. What is that? President Hana asked. A species that chose to save their enemies instead of abandoning them. The rescue mission began immediately. Human and Vorthak ships worked together to find and save the hidden refugee vessels. Captain Lim's Soul's Pride led the mission, its transforming hull helping to repair damaged alien ships. It took 8 months to find all the refugee ships. The rescued Vorthak civilians were weak and scared after thousands of years in hiding. Many had never seen a human before. But something beautiful happened. The human colonists opened their homes to the alien refugees. Children who had been born in the dark of space saw sunlight for the first time. Old Vorthak artists began to paint again. Scientists who had given up hope started working on new discoveries. Sergeant O, now promoted to colonel, trained mixed human Vorthak military units. Fighting together makes us stronger than fighting alone, he told his new soldiers. The Void Swarm arrived exactly when the sensors predicted. Their ships were like nothing anyone had ever seen, black holes given form, creatures made of living, emptiness that consumed light itself. But when the swarm reached the edge of the system, they found something that confused them. Instead of running or hiding, the humans in Vorthak had built something new. A massive space city floated where New Busan Station used to be. It was 10 times larger, filled with millions of humans and Vorthak living and working together. Gardens grew in zero gravity. Art galleries displayed works created by 4 different species. Schools taught children of all kinds to dream of better futures. The swarm sent a scout vessel to investigate. What it found broke something fundamental in the swarm's programming. The scout saw Vorthak children playing with human children. It saw former warriors teaching refugees how to build instead of destroy. It saw Elder Zethmai working with President Hana to plan new colonies where both species could live in peace. Most importantly, it saw hope. The scout vessel stopped moving. For the first time in millions of years, part of the Void Swarm hesitated. This is President Lee Hana speaking to the Void Swarm, came the broadcast on all frequencies. We know what you are. We know what you have lost. We are here to offer you what you forgot, the choice to create instead of consume. The response came not in words, but in images. The swarm showed them memories of a species that had given up hope so long ago that they forgot their own name. They had become hunger itself rather than face the pain of loss. We remember pain, Elder Zethmai said in his transmission to the swarm. We became predators to escape it. But these humans taught us something better. Pain ends when you choose to heal instead of hurt. For 3 days, the Void Swarm sat at the edge of the system, neither advancing nor retreating. Internal conflicts raged within the collective consciousness as parts of it remembered what it meant to hope. Finally, the largest swarm vessel sent a single message. Show us how to remember. Commander Park Junho, now representing the next generation of both species, gave the answer that would echo across the galaxy. You remember by choosing to build something beautiful, even when the darkness seems complete. You remember by saving others instead of consuming them. You remember by believing that tomorrow can be better than today. Some parts of the Void Swarm chose to remember. They broke away from the collective and began the long, painful process of becoming individual beings again. Other parts could not let go of their hunger. They fled to distant galaxies, still consuming, still running from hope. But the galaxy was forever changed. The species that chose hope had shown that even the greatest darkness could be overcome, not with weapons or walls, but with the simple courage to believe in something better. Years later, As Commander Taiho watched his grandchildren play with young Vorthak and reformed swarm beings in the gardens of Unity Station, he remembered the day when predators came to devour humanity. They had failed. Not because humans were stronger, but because humans had offered them something more powerful than hunger, the chance to come home. And in the vast darkness of space, hope became the greatest weapon of all.